Final Form podcast. This week, Shigurui Death Frenzy. Before we get started on this fantastic show, things are going to get spoiled. While I can't say that I fully recommend this show, this episode will be more enjoyable if you watch it. To know what we're watching next week, Rell is going to say at the end of this episode. This was Jay Will's pick. Willy blessed us with this goat tier masterpiece.
Honestly, he needs his
golden writing. Golden writing.
Why did you pick this, Willy? And was it what you thought it was gonna be?
I'm not gonna lie. I picked this at like last minute. I didn't have a show planned. I was kind of busy throughout the week when it was time for me to pick a show. But I was honestly, I had other selections, but I wanted to lean more towards the violence and like dark stories of anime, you know. Yeah. And it did. The show accomplished that, like little pieces. I just wish it was like executed a lot better, you know. But it did what I expected, but it didn't do it like the best way.
Definitely not mad at that. What'd you think as a whole? I mean, for impressions when this thing is kicking off, what are we thinking?
Oh, like when the first episode had dropped, it began off like with them like about to duel in a tournament, and how like one guy had like one arm. Being like, you know, I watch a bunch of samurai or ninja shits. Like, I'm like, all right, the swordsman with one arm. Obviously, he might be goated or whatever. But his opponent comes out of nowhere, blind and a cripple, with a really weird sword stance. So I was like, all right, I don't know what the fuck I'm watching.
Yep.
I was mad confused, and I was like, okay.
The fucking muscles on this man's back. When I tell you, I was in tears. I paused it. I was in full on tears. They showed this dude. They're like, "Why? He's a one-armed samurai. We have to do a physical examination." His back. Yeah. They take off the cloak or whatever. His back is fucking muscular as shit.
Yeah, but this nigga had abs on his back. It made no sense.
Muscles. He has extra muscles on his back to compensate for the one arm. It's like, man, turn this shit off.
Yo, that shit. Yeah, like.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't even corny. It was just cringe sometimes. I was like, what are you fucking doing?
That first episode made me very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Watching these two handicaps fight to the death.
I didn't know what was going on. Even like after the fight, I was like, all right, was that like I was just so confused.
So one-armed samurai with the fucking swole ass back shows up, and they're like his opponent, and they're like, is he a cripple? Not only is he a cripple, he's blind.
He's blind.
Oh my god,
fucking weird shit, weird gashes on his foot and shit.
They're not giving me a chance to breathe.
You know what's also crazy about this show? Like, I tried watching this show like 3 times in the past, and I always gave up after like episode 1. Like, always gave up. Like when I was
understand why.
And then when I'm rewatching it, I was like, yo, I tried watching this shit, man. This shit was fucking terrible. Like the first 3 episodes are literally garbage to me, like complete fucking garbage. I was like, bro,
they're dog shit to me too, bro.
They're not enticing enough. They're not enticing enough to keep my attention for 12 episodes. Like the first episode's boo boo. The second, only reason why I even went the distance is because it was the show picked for the podcast. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. I'm pretty sure that if I was doing it with myself again, it'd be the 4th time of me trying to watch it. It's like Gintama to me.
I can appreciate the show. Even though, like, I probably would have dropped it at first. I'm glad we did finish it because it wasn't all bad, but it was definitely bad.
It was definitely bad, but like towards the end, when you start to realize like how the show's being told or whatever, how they're telling the story, it's like, okay, all right, I get it just a little bit. And like I don't know if it was just me or if I wasn't just paying enough attention. I felt like there wasn't a lot of dialogue the first 3 eps, just a bunch of like scenes, scenes of them like, and then like none of them
scenes.
Yeah, and then like they were like, oh yeah, one of the biggest things that bothered me about the show was like how they were telling some of the story with nursery rhymes. I had heard like 5 different nursery rhymes, and I'm watching the sub too, so all of it sounds like a little bit of the same, but it's like a higher pitch of voice. And I'm just like, bro, what the fuck is going on? Like,
yeah, I couldn't imagine watching that sub. That would have bored me even more because I really would have like
oh, bro,
had
it
to
was
pay
violent.
attention to the screen. Yeah, I couldn't have done that. Because all the little standstills of just them like almost fighting, I was like, this is taking forever. And those first couple episodes, like they do a lot of standing around, just being
Yeah,
intense, and that shit made me really upset.
like the fighting, in this show, I had to like I can appreciate what they were doing, but like if you're
Yeah,
like if you watch
artsy as
anime
hell.
on if you watch anime on the regular, like a whole bunch of stuff is like well choreographed. Like it looks like they're almost dancing. You know what I'm saying? Like it's really out of this world animation. When you see like anime fights, this
Yep.
one it was just like legit. I feel like that was probably like probably some real swordsman like single strike type thing. Like okay,
Yeah.
this move
That's
is
what
gonna
it is.
beat that move, and, which
That's
was like
exactly what it is.
which is cool. But it was like even when you watched the first episode when they start to do the fight, do they actually fight or do they just go straight to the flashback?
They never
They go
fight.
straight to the flashbacks. They
Yeah,
never
that's what I'm
fight.
saying. Like you don't even know like how they fight. Like off the first ep, they show you this little training dojo, and then you still don't see how they fight after the training. It's like what, maybe episode 2? I was just like, man, this is weird. Shit, weird as fuck.
Yeah, a lot of the choices they made really fucked them over. Like spending way too much time hyping up this match if you're gonna cut away and never come back to it.
Never come back
Like
to it.
just say that they're about to fight and then go straight to the flashback. You know, it's interesting enough if they're just like, oh, these guys are about to fight.
Yeah.
Oh, and then they just show the flashbacks. It was also like, so this show was highly confusing to me. At many times, like I was getting lost. At times, I had to go and look up episode summary to like, oh yes, okay, that's what I just saw.
Yep, I had to go back and read the descriptions of the episodes.
And I like shows like show don't tell is like the classic like entertainment rule, but like damn, bruh, like it was crossing me up because I was like, what the fuck is even going on?
She was playing
Bro.
a whole different game. Wasn't even trying to cross up. The shit was golfing. Like
They had too much symbolism in there, and I think that's what really fucked them over a lot.
bro.
Too. There was
Yes,
too much
yes.
stuff.
Oh my
At
god.
once. It was making me so upset. I was like, you couldn't just say, okay, 3 years later, or this is in the past. Like they got to do so much symbolism, but it's a very artsy ass anime, so I can definitely understand why they did that.
Once you
But it just killed
understand
me.
who the characters are, like then you're like, okay, now that I'm able to keep track of who's who. I'm kind of understanding that their feud is growing and that it's pretty lit actually.
It is.
The Fujiki Iroko beef was probably my only favorite thing about the show.
Very good thing about the show.
Like that was like I fucked with that like pretty heavy. They built that shit up mad nice. But back to the imagery.
Just once and just put
the imagery on this show, bro, is like way too fucking much. I would be sitting back like, yo, like what the fuck? Like why? Like again, like I didn't notice much dialogue first couple eps. They would like pan over to like a different. Like, they would show somebody standing and pan over to a different scene, a different picture, and the picture is like I guess kind of being sliced. But then like they never show you the fight again or what happened to the guy. It's like he shows up the next episode or something like that with like a mark on him, and it's like shit like that. I'm just like, bro, why don't you just show me him getting cut or something like that? Isn't this Death Frenzy or some shit? Like, why the fuck am I like getting these pictures and these little fucking poems and these little fucking nursery rhymes to explain this story? Just say it, bro. Like, come on, like,
yeah, they did.
You do it too much.
If they would have just developed the characters the first couple episodes and then did all the artsy stuff, I would have been perfectly fine with the show. But I just didn't know who the characters were until like episode 5 almost. I was like, oh, okay. I understand it now. I was okay. It all clicks a little better.
That makes sense.
And then I was like, okay, all this artsy shit is definitely kind of lit, but they just did a shitty job of putting it onto you.
It's almost like they tried to go with like the Afro Samurai kind of vibe, but they just focused. They only made that the aesthetic. They didn't really do that the real delivery of everything.
Yeah, delivery was always mid.
Delivery was.
I don't know. I
It
think
started to pick up.
they do like in terms of like delivery. I would say they definitely deliver on like certain things that are like super intense. Like they give you your money's worth in terms of how intense is the shit that's about to happen. Like usually, oftentimes it's a very intense thing with an intense payoff. He was beating the
Yes,
shit out of dude's face.
bro. That whole
Yeah.
He
fight was
was
pretty lit.
pounding this dude's face into the ground.
That whole fight was pretty lit for me. I actually enjoyed that fight.
Who do you guys
Yeah.
think is better? Who do you
Same.
guys think is better, Iroko or Fujiki?
Irako.
Yeah, I'm also going with him.
You see, like,
That's the pretty one.
Yeah,
yeah.
Nah,
Yeah.
Snake. Nope.
bro, he's a
No,
the other
no.
guy's a
Check this
simp,
out.
bro.
Check this out.
I don't fuck with it.
Other
I
guy
don't.
is other guy. Fujiki is definitely a simp.
Yeah.
Fujiki is
I
definitely.
don't fuck with it.
Man, first off, okay, Iriko, when they introduce him, they're like, it's a guy with a different style, and then he comes in drippy as fuck with the hat.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just felt for him more. Like he won a fight, he lost the second fight against the dude with the fucked up teeth, which was fucking hideous. And then he wants to join the dojo, but then they don't let him in. But then they do. And then he gets picked, but then because he has a mistress that the
Slimy.
Kogan likes. That's not slimy, bro. Fuck the Kogan. Nobody likes him.
Bro, I like Kogan. Isn't that
Bro
that was
was
Kogan? That
bro.
was Kogan's wife. That was Kogan's wife.
Yeah.
Not his wife. Not his wife.
That
His
was his wife.
plaything.
Still slimy.
Unofficial. Just a slave. Like just a rape slave.
Yeah. It's not like a hoe, like a mistress. It's like she actually lives with him.
She's like
It
a
was
sex.
slimy
She's
enough
like a
for me.
sex slave that he has.
You gonna come up?
Basically, yeah.
You gonna come up and fuck my sex slave when I'm offering you my virgin daughter?
That guy was awful,
I would take
man.
that personal. I would take that personal. Like I'm about to give you my virgin ass daughter and my like style and all that
So
crazy
you're
shit
telling
and clout.
me you jive with this cat? You jive with Kogan? You fuck with
Bro,
him?
yeah, I do.
Oh my
I do.
god!
I
What are you
like
guys? What are
Kogan.
these guys? All you
I
guys
like
are
Kogan.
menaces.
I feel like he's the main
Kogan.
character.
I'm not gonna. I feel like Irako is the good guy.
He is.
I feel like Irako is the good guy. Like Fujiki is definitely, to me, Fujiki is just a punk.
He's the
He's
less
still
bad
He's the
guy.
dog.
He's the
He's
less
a
bad
dog.
guy.
That's all he is.
He's so like he was raw, but like after the fucking they're about to
He had to
teach
get
Irako, they're about to teach Irako the fucking secret ability, and then like
Yeah.
Gonzo beats the shit out of him, stabbing his back and shit,
Mm-hmm.
That
and then
they had to do it.
and then he fucking makes Irako fucking duel Fujiki. I'm just like, damn, that's kind of ass.
Very
And
ass.
he's smiling about it. I'm like, yo, this nigga's lame as fuck, bro. You couldn't
It
beat
was-
this nigga when he was clean, bro.
Kinda ass though, but like that fight was still very raw. Like he was still
the fact that
he
it
was still
close,
fighting very yeah, exactly. Like
the fight was
those injuries
close.
didn't matter.
So Irako was just better, bro. That was a spinal injury, bro, and what was it? A hit to like the ribs.
I don't know. I remember he
Gonzo
struck
was
him real
good.
hard in the spine.
He shouldn't have been
Gonzo-
out there playing. He shouldn't have been out there playing. He should have been on the show. You out there
Nah,
fucking little bitch. You gotta set some toes.
they set him up. They
Yeah,
set
they
him.
definitely
They
set him
set
up.
him the fuck.
And that's what he gets. That's what he gets.
He looks at
But like after that,
the
bro
Kogan.
definitely got wrong.
He looks at the Kogan, and the Kogan's like fucking decked out in samurai gear. He's like, "Fuck, I should have known. I should have known this was some serious shit. Look at this guy. He's fully
got the
dressed in
mask,
armor right
yeah.
now."
He is mad. He is
Yeah,
pissed.
like
Yo,
this is
the
serious.
Kogan being unconscious for like fucking
He
random
cut that bitch's
parts.
nipple off, bro.
That shit was hilarious.
Please,
Sure.
please,
Hate it.
we can talk.
Hate it.
Let's talk about the Kogan because I felt like the ending of the show, the fact that he gets murked, was like a good ending to me because he was like the villain. Like everybody sucked, but he sucked the hardest. Like he was the least likable, the most shitty. So the fact that they killed him, I mean, I fuck with him because he's raw. Like, oh okay,
Bro, how
Nobody
can
wants-
how can he not support a guy that almost molested his own daughter?
nobody wants
was
him
checking to see if
to
he
be
was
in
a
that
virgin,
seat.
bro.
Nobody wants him to be in that seat. Everybody knows that he's crazy, but they all have to serve him because the fact of the matter is that no one can assassinate him.
Yeah, no one can
he's
beat
just
his
that
ass.
nice.
He can. He's an old man with crazy powers. Like no one can beat his ass. Well,
But he's
I
a
take
piece of
that back.
shit. But he's a piece of shit.
I take that back.
That shooting star technique, bruh. Next fucking
Come on,
level,
bro.
my nigga. That
He
shit
has
was
an extra finger. He has an extra finger, bro. Can you
Who has
imagine
an
that?
extra finger?
Kogan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Bruh, he was ridiculous, bruh. Yo, all right.
But he
One of
was
my
shitty.
favorite Kogan scenes, bruh. I mean, like, I felt like he was supposed to
He had to
be
do
what
what he
what
did.
a dojo master was, though. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
exactly.
Like, those guys, they're strictly martial arts. That was like the first thing you notice about most of the swordsmen or martial artists in the show. They are strictly about they shit. Like it's swordsmanship, then their lives. So like
They're
the fact that
They rock with us.
I don't expect those guys to be good people anyway. Like I thought that's just their culture. Like you know how like that
Exactly.
my favorite well not my favorite Kogan scene, but one of my like most hyped ones where he was like asking Gonzo like, hey, who's gonna give the better seed, Irako or Fujiki? Gonzo's like, hey, yo, I think Fujiki. And he was like, why do you think that? He was like, well, he respects Mie, and then he just takes out his sword and like cuts his fucking like cheeks or jaws or whatever. Bro, I was like, he was like, motherfucker, what'd you just say to me? Who's gonna give me the stronger jit? And he was like, Irako, or no, he said equal. And he was like, all right, I'm gonna pick then myself. Because he knew that nigga was bullshitting. He knew the truth. He just wanted to hear Gonzo say it.
But in terms of so that was I also fuck with that. I was like, okay, this is just some intense shit. Like that's like intense Viking style procreation, old ass culture type thing. But like
stupid raw.
Still, just him throwing his throws his daughter at the feet of the man that he's picking, and he's like, fuck now. You guys are gonna fuck right now.
Fighting. Yeah, fucking biting glass.
He's like,
Fujiki did that shit in a heartbeat.
Let's go.
I want this.
He didn't actually. He didn't. He stepped out. He didn't want to take it because he was already fucking. He didn't even want it. He was like, until after we're married.
Wait, was Fujiki already hitting?
No.
He was already hitting at that point.
Nah.
Was he not?
Bro, I swear.
Did he like her, or were they fucking?
Was Fujiki hitting?
I'm pretty sure he was already hitting when they like had her held down.
I don't think so.
Oh no, wait, no, not in that scene. She didn't get hit during that scene. I'm talking about like the beginning of the show.
I'm saying he was hitting the mistress.
Oh,
and he passed up on hitting her, and he was like, "No,
Irako.
I'll just wait."
He's talking about the other dude.
Okay.
Oh, my bad. I was talking about Fujiki. I thought Fujiki was getting some box.
That's what I thought he was talking about.
But,
Irako was lit. Irako was lit for smashing the mistress though. Some fuck nigga shit.
Could have smashed the daughter, but he didn't. Why?
She ended up loving that nigga, yo.
Because of that fact, but he could have still smashed.
No.
He was
that nigga. He was planning to be slimy. He was like, "Oh, so you want me to have your daughter?" And then he ends up not fucking her. That didn't make any sense to me, honestly.
It made sense. He explained it. He said she's gonna kill herself if we do this right now, because it's fucking traumatic. So let's not do that so that we could actually have a kid. We'll wait till we're married. Then they just never got to the marriage because, the Kogan wasn't having that. Yeah, switched up on him.
Crazy reverse. And then that also kind of pissed me off about the Kogan. I was like, I thought she was strictly martial arts, bro. Now this nigga fucking your bitch, but gives you the strongest seed, and now you mad about the shits. Like now your feelings coming into play. So then like that was kind of
him, bro. He disrespected the sensei, bro.
He disrespected the sensei. But it's like strongest seed we talking about. We not talking about this no more. Like we're not talking about that.
That nigga practiced the sword style on my bitch nipple and then left the evidence there. Come on now.
I think that was a metaphor. I think that was a metaphor for him being able to feel it on inside of her. Like the shit ain't feeling the same.
This shit ain't my box.
That
What the
nigga
fuck you been doing?
he looked at her nipple and like zoomed into that shit and
Oh
just
yeah,
seen
yeah. And they showed the bean that he had cut.
Yeah.
And fucking, he went from unconscious to conscious when he realized, like, yo, this shit feel different. That shit was scary when he was staring at that bitch. I was like, damn, this nigga.
That nigga was intense. That was the most like
I
some
kind
of
of
the
hated
most.
that too. Like he was randomly a
Retarded?
vegetable, and then
Yeah.
he would randomly be like this conniving
OP.
but competent. Like yeah.
Oh,
So I hated that shit. It's time to catch a rape body. I'm up. Right now I can move. I ain't on that vegetable shit no more.
that is the old Japanese culture. So I was like, this is not even like out of the ordinary for me. Just like to even like watch something like this for them. Them niggas were raping bitches all the time.
It's still out of ordinary for me to
You
see
know,
that.
it's
Out
so
of
crazy.
order.
It's so crazy because like I'm still on like the Fuji. Who's better, Fujiki or Irako? Because like Irako wouldn't have killed that twin if Fujiki hadn't popped off.
Mm-hmm. I was still confused about who was who when I was watching that.
When they had their hair covered up by them fucking ninja suits, yeah, it was definitely hard. I was like, is that Fujiki? I don't know who's who, bro. I thought the roles were switched. I thought Irako was like the clear better one and was gonna kill the twin first, and Fujiki was gonna like get a scrub kill, but it was like nah, Fujiki mopped that nigga.
Mopped.
But the thing about Irako is he has to see the technique first to become goated.
I just
What was the last
Irako
one?
is just so much more interesting than Fujiki to me. I mean, they're both interesting because they have like these they're very complex, but neither of them are really good. And I don't really care for either of them personally because they're both kind of uninteresting. But Irako is probably the more interesting of the two.
No, he is. He definitely is. Being the gifted swordsman that just pulls up to like almost conquer the dojo.
So I have a small list of things that were unnecessarily violent, like because I really felt like the show misallocated those moments a lot of the time. Like if I'm seeing gore, I want to see it in the context of a fight, not in the context of this guy eating this chick's nipple. Like, why did he eat the nipple, bro? That was so raw. That was so unnecessary. Somebody ate an eyeball,
and it bled so much.
It bleeds so much.
The nipple bled so the nipple bled
fish.
so.
He was eating raw fish, bro. It was the blood was getting everywhere.
I fucked with it.
You were fucking with it?
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ.
They were just that raw. Like he didn't give a fuck.
Eating the nipple was gross.
He ate Sensei's face at the end. He was eating it. He was spitting it out. I don't know what the fuck he was trying to do, but it was unnecessary.
I think he was trying to resuscitate
blood. Yeah, he was trying to get the blood out of his lungs. Yeah.
Oh my god. Stop.
That's what he was trying to do.
They needed to take that shit out.
Yeah, bro. I was like, this nigga's head, this nigga, half his brain is gone, dude. Like, this nigga dead, dude. He's
I could
dead.
deal with the face slicing, and the guts pouring everywhere. I could deal with that, but like, they were just,
I can deal with that too.
Unnecessarily
But
edgy and nasty, like so many times in this.
I think that's what the show needed because like a lot of the fight scenes weren't as messy at points up until like later on.
Just did that then.
They should have just made
They started cutting niggas up, boy. They were dropping guts in water and shit.
They gave us just the gore, not the fights, not the fight scenes. Like,
yeah.
I mean, it's fight scenes, but they're like Western shootouts, like one hit, one kill.
Swords.
I just remember he caught bro lacking in the shower. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. That's a coward move right there to me.
Also, Irako, doesn't he did already. Okay, so you're right, Rell. Because didn't he see the daughter on the bridge, or was that the mistress? He saw the chick on the bridge and then he smashed like immediately after.
I thought that was some random chick.
That might have been a mistress.
Either way, it was lit. He was like, "Hey,"
that shit was raw.
Just gave her eyes, and then she threw it.
Bro, he grabbed her pinky, bro. Just grabbed her pinky, and she just like fell in love. Nigga dripped on that hoe.
It's probably the mistress.
Nigga was there for a year and became a ladies' man. All the bitches loved Irako, bro. Nigga was goated, man. Nigga was cool. He was cool. He was drippy. I was fucking with him in the beginning. And I was like, all right, bro, this nigga cool. I like Fujiki because he looks like Ryu almost. So I was like, all right, I'm still gonna root for him too. But like, man, Pimp gotta respect the Pimp game. You feel me?
Catching niggas in
Damn, he only got one
bathhouses.
arm.
Catching niggas in bathhouses, butt ass naked with no sword. Come on now. Where's the honor in that?
And none of these niggas had honor, bro. All these niggas was low key grubby.
Yep.
Man, they could have killed him, but they just left him to just be blind. They really could have killed him. They honestly spared him.
They disgraced him though. They tried to make it worse than death.
Yeah, did they cut off my boys Johnson?
Pretty sure they did.
I saw that too, and I was like, "What's going on?" Fuck.
They burned that shit or something. It was sizzled off, or it
They
was
seared that motherfucker. They cut my nigga dick off, bro. That's not
he's
even
not fucking no more.
And they blinded him.
Man. So they Theon Greyjoyed him?
They Theon Greyjoyed him, and they took away his eyesight.
So his
that's kind of worse. It's kind of worse.
His sensei, the blind guy, his sensei was also blind. The guy that he was learning from. This dude had 2 clammy ass pussies for eyes.
That shit was disgusting.
Hated that shit.
That shit
they look like
disgusting.
Dominican lips.
that shit
nasty.
Nigga had Dominican eyeball lips.
And also, he sings in the last episode.
Over there.
Somebody breaks out into song in the last episode.
That blind ass nigga.
I was like, bruh.
I was fed up at that point. I was about to say, I'm not going to finish this and just say I did. I almost was like, how long is this going to be?
Oh yeah, but they always put some like it was putting in a whole bunch of songs and that shit where I was getting tired of it. Man. I was like,
was there a gun? Was there a gun in this?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, guy.
I put that in my notes. I was like, yeah, they had to pull out a cover, bro.
Yeah, I thought Fujiki was practicing at like the shrine or whatever, and then like some dude with a gun pulled up trying to pull a hit on him, and then my nigga Fujiki motherfucking blocked that shit, and that nigga was mad far away, and he did like this crazy grip stance and ended up cutting the back of the dude's neck.
Oof.
That shit, he was stooping far too. Like the way
he got dumb raw. The
way they showed the distance between those two, he was like, "Man, I'm still gonna get this nigga." And he just,
oh, definitely. This nigga came up here while I'm practicing. You gonna fuck around, nigga? I'm gonna try this move out.
Nigga, I warmed up right now, nigga. I already stretched. And he blocked the bullet so fast that it said, "Ding." Blocked it.
Bro had one bullet. Bro just got out of it.
Oh, it was so funny because when he turned around, it was such a serious turnaround. Like they slowed down the camera and everything. He was like, and he had such a serious face, bro. Like the amount of surprise faces in the show, you can count on like 2 hands. I think, like nobody was surprised. They would just look at the other person and be like, "Damn, that was pretty cool," and then keep the same straight face and go back to fighting.
Oh, his shit's getting punched in, and his guts are being eaten, and his balls are rolling on the floor. Just another day here at the Kogan dojo.
Just straight faces all the time, bro.
Another day on the clock.
He broke this nigga finger, bro. Both them bitches were like all the way back to his top of his wrist.
He fought dirty, bro.
He didn't even flinch.
He fought dirty, bro. He came in there not on some real dojo shit and got a dub. That's all that shit started.
He sauced him, bro. He sauced him in that first fight.
Bro, man, you talking about
exactly.
fighting dirty.
That's how you
talking
win.
about fighting dirty, bro. Like last round, Fujiki had choked some nigga to the point where he couldn't say "I give up" or like "I could see." Like that was the whole point of the technique. So the guy couldn't say that. The whole thing was just torturing a nigga.
He's a bitch.
Hold up. I have to say it. Dude had no fucking chin. I know y'all got that snap that I sent.
Man,
yes,
I got the pick. I think I have the pick.
Oh my
yo.
God.
I honestly could not find that scene when you sent that. I wouldn't even like I could not find that scene.
That was
episode 3.
That was the twins' dad, I think.
Oh, okay.
Bro, he had no. Oh my God, that shit is grotesque.
Like a sour
Funaki.
He just had a sour gummy.
Itchy densa.
He's sucking on a warhead or some shit. That shit looks like it got fucked. Oh, I just want to slap the shit out of him.
Apparently Kogan shaved that shit off, bro.
Oh my God.
Shit raw, man.
Another funny thing that happens is she's like, I thought I saw you with what's her name, and he's like, she was feeling dizzy after a long shower, so I helped her get back to the. I was like,
oh yeah.
what?
When
She was feeling dizzy after a long shower.
Gonzo had to follow this nigga like, hey man, chill out, bro. You can't be fucking her, bro.
Already helped her back to her room, bro. No need.
And when they find the dude dead at the
Or
dojo,
like
he's like, one of them is like, contact the local officials. I was like, what? This shit's weird.
You are the local officials.
Bro, go get him, man. You guys are supposed to, this is like Gang Wars, I thought.
Yo.
Oh man, can we talk about that one sus scene where bro was giving himself head? That shit was gay as shit.
Oh
so
my
he
God.
was doing that.
I was the only one who saw that.
I thought like he was beating his. I thought he was beating his meat or something. But like this nigga was in
He
love
was
with that little boy, dog.
When was that?
He was beating his.
You know, remember when Suzu had
It was,
died? Irako had just he had just kind of learned martial arts, and like that little boy that came out of nowhere from the 3-year time skip that like Fujiki was training or whatever the fuck had just died, and that one guy went crazy about it. He was like, "Oh my god, Suzu."
I only vaguely remember that, to be honest.
The guy with I think it was the guy with the big eyes.
Everybody's so nondescript in the show that I could like.
I don't remember his name. They're all really hard Japanese names,
but he was he was topping himself off.
Tell me that shit's necessary. Dude jacking himself off.
I don't think
He wasn't jacking himself off, bro. He was auto fellatio.
Yeah, bro. He was topping himself. Yeah. He was straight up topping himself.
He was going to town.
All to that little ass boy, like, bro. I was like, damn, bro. This shit wasn't that serious, dog. Like what the fuck? Nigga, bro, it was like it was the kid like sword dancing naked. Like it was just him by himself. It was just sword dancing naked. And all you saw was the camera move like mad fast up and down. And I was like, yo, it's this nigga like what is going on, yo? That was one of those moments in the show where I was just like,
switched the camera angle.
Oh, okay.
And then they panned out, and then he was doing it to like he was moving his head up and down after they panned out. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, this show. I was like, what did Jay Will pick?
Hey, bro, chill out, dog. Chill out. I ain't know all that.
This show is indicative of Jay Will's taste.
My note. I was like,
so
what kind of shit you're on, bro?
Are you going through the robot tunnel?
Okay. Is there what else do you guys want to get to before we go to scores?
Dude, let me see. Cause like
I actually like the grittiness, you know, kind of like the gore and the nudity kind of hard carried for me because that's what kept it with the artsy kind of vibe that they were trying to give off.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, I put that in my notes.
I just feel like they could have used it in different spots, man. They used it in some weird ass spots. Like, oh, let's make this.
The way that they introduced things was not ideal by any means.
I really did like the fighting though. Once they actually started, once I realized it was like one strike, one move. Yeah, one strike, one move thing. I was just like, bro,
it's okay.
Low key fucking with it.
That's hype in its own right, you know, like.
And like I ain't even gonna lie, bro. That those two scenes where they actually use imagery to their benefit. When like Kogan was walking out to fight Irako, and he was like the aura of a tiger holding a sword in its mouth, walking towards him, bro.
Oh yeah, that shit was cool.
That shit was next level. And then just to follow up with Irako becoming dragon, scaring the shit out of Kogan. I was like, bruh, this show is kind of raw, man. But only because of that. Everything else is still pretty dog shit.
And I guess, you know, you see that Fujiki is going to lose the fight in the beginning because the chick has the vision of him
getting sliced in half.
Yeah.
But I still needed them to deliver on that and actually show us the fight.
Yeah.
I might read the manga, man. The manga's like solid.
The manga is supposed to be just like this, except maybe a little bit less confusing. You know, a little less abstract.
I feel like how everything's kind of just still in this show. Like I feel like it works better in manga because it's already still, like it's already just a scene.
It probably fits better in that format. But I
Well,
think
no, that's about it
I
for
think it
me.
did get enhanced. I think parts of it definitely did get enhanced, like because the gore was really intense. It made things. I was definitely on my toes watching this, because of like something hella fucking intense can happen at any given moment.
Yep.
Which I could appreciate that. But oh my goodness, man down. We could go. We could go to scores. We'll start with Daga. You could give us your thoughts and your score.
Well, it was pretty difficult to follow with the way that they were introducing shit in the beginning, but it picks up around like halfway through. Gets a little unwatchable for like one or two episodes, and then it just the ending is the ending. But I would recommend this to people who have only watched certain kind of anime, like they have to be into like samurai shit, like Rurouni Kenshin, and particularly the Rurouni Kenshin OVAs because they did a whole bunch more gore and shit like that in that.
Mm-hmm.
Or you got to be into like artsy shit. You got to be watching shit like Kimono Zume. You got to be watching something that's weird, avant-garde. So all in all, 6.4 out of 10 because I didn't like the way that they did. I didn't like the lack of explanation to certain things and not seeing stuff that I wanted to see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I definitely feel you on that.
Okay.
I feel that.
I'll go next. I gave this a 5.3.
Oh man,
There was point. It got some points for like some really cool one-liners. The fact that I'm aware that they trusted me too much as a member of the audience to know what's going on and to think more, and to think more. They really challenged me to think more, and I was not up to the task a lot of the time. But like the gore, there was good gore, but there was also highly unnecessary gore. The show was fucking exhausting to watch. Like I would never rewatch it probably. Even knowing what was going on, I probably wouldn't. I didn't give a shit
maybe
about
like certain scenes.
Maybe, yeah. I didn't really give a shit about any of the characters. I still don't. I really like the sensei as a villain, so it gets points for that. All in all, just like a average. It would end up being average at the end of the day when you weigh the goods and the bads, in my opinion. So I give it like a 5.3.
Still decent.
What you got, Rell?
I would give it like a good 6.6 out of 10. It was like it definitely picked up towards the end, but like a lot of the early stuff just confused me to the point where I was like, all right, I just gotta truck through this for the podcast. But the fight scenes were pretty samurai-ish. I feel like it wasn't really like on some anime shit, like some shonen stuff.
But you would recommend this to people, or
If the person is with like Japanese culture, yeah, why not?
yeah,
Other than that,
most sixes, I would say like I would recommend this to certain people depending on what
yeah.
what they like. I feel you, Willy. What'd you think?
Man, I rated like a 6.8. I rated a 6.8 because I mean like it was mad exhausting to watch in the beginning. I'm not gonna lie. Like I said before, it took me like what three times I tried watching it, couldn't do it. Completely unbearable. The lighting in the show is bad. It gets like really bright or like really dark, and I was watching it on my phone. I didn't watch it on like my computer or like my fucking TV or whatever the fuck. So that was probably something that I probably messed with it too. But still, I was just like, why is the lighting so fucking bad? How come I can't make out certain things? And that's just pretty unappealing to me. But I don't know, like with if that they do tell the story like in a way, you just have to like really be on top of it. And if you're into that type of thing, I can understand like why you could enjoy it. But for me, it was just like it just wasn't doing enough. But I also did appreciate like the beef between the two guys, the two rivals, and like I'm like a sucker for like for gore and violence. And I didn't feel like it was too bad towards the end. I feel like this show thought they were gonna get more seasons, so that's probably why it ended like shit. Honestly, to me,
Oh,
because it starts off.
It did end like shit. It did end like
Yeah,
shit.
it ended like complete shit. So I was sitting back like these boys really thought they had another season coming their way with this garbage, this sorry ass performance. But I understand, like because they're probably trying to. Again, I don't really know. I haven't looked up much about the manga, but I feel like they were trying to stay true to the manga, and I think this manga was like a success. So they were probably just trying to. They probably just thought too far ahead or committed to the wrong role. Again, I would recommend it to people like if they fucked with some Japanese samurai shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they haven't seen much anime and aren't already hip to like well choreographed fighting and like really good stories into shows, I'd be like, yeah, man, just give this a try, give it a roll. This is whatever. This is a trip. It's memorable. You're gonna remember this. Like,
them up. They would probably hate anime.
yeah, it's just like, what the fuck is that? Yeah, but some people just love like, you see how this guy has like no fucking chin. Some people just love off the wall shit like that. Like, this guy has no chin. Like, why does this guy have no chin? Why does this guy have no fucking chin? Like, why is this guy like cutting dudes in half? Or like, why is it about like this weird ass grip style cutting people's necks? I know a guy right now that'll probably get this shit at 10 out of 10 because it's so fucking weird. But it definitely ain't my taste, and I don't think it's the masses' taste either. So I definitely say 6.8.
Damn! I feel like I was being too hard on it, but I definitely wouldn't go as far as saying 6. Maybe I'll bump it up to like 5.8. Because 6 is like, I don't know. I reserve the right to change my mind about that. Because honestly, I do feel like a lot of it was the fact that I was so confused early on.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it still has a non-ending. I was well aware of everything that was going on by the time the ending came around, and they did not reward me for it.
You said what?
I said I was well aware. Yeah, I was well aware of everything that was going on by the time the ending came around, but they did not reward me for it because, like, they gave it a non-ending. They gave a non-ending. A read the manga ending.
Yeah, it's like, hey, you gotta like really like research this shit if you want to know what's happening. Because I'm like, damn, I don't even know. You see how Irako gets blind or whatever the fuck, and kind of crippled. I guess I think it's because of the sword landing he does when fighting Kogan. But you don't see Fujiki lose his arm.
Yeah,
stabs himself in the foot.
You're nowhere near the tournament. You're nowhere near the tournament when the show ends.
And yeah, I'm just like,
you should have been at the tournament.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah. Once I got to episode 10, I was like, yo, I'm not gonna get the ending I want. Yep. There's no way they're gonna tell me everything now. Like, it's.
Well, you're kind of just left to speculate that they just seeing them in the first episode and then seeing them throughout the series. You're just left to assume that they just do this. They just battle each other throughout history, or throughout their time. Because I think they're much older in the first episode.
Gotta be.
So. We could get down to fucking Rell's pick for next week. The part I've really been waiting for right now.
Yeah.
Let's get it. I got a Stride alternative.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
Yeah. I've had this on Hulu for like a good little minute, just sitting on my list, and it's also on Funimation. Recheck too. But
damn, okay.
It's about like, I guess, racing, like relay racing or something. So it's definitely different from something that I really would already picked. So I was like, yeah, let me just make a left turn from blood and gore.
Okay, I will see.
Some real life.
All right, goddamn, I'm gonna do some F's tonight, actually.
Yeah, I'm feeling it. I hope it doesn't. I hope it's better.
Same.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, so
real
next week is Stride Alternative. Watch it, please. Also, let us know what you think about Shigurui Death Frenzy. Are we on about that, or are we tripping? I really
Definitely
want
on.
I
to know.
think
If
we're
you
pretty
like it, I
on.
want to know.
We need opinions. Give us opinions.
Let me know and why, bro.
All right.
What?
Yep. Stride alternative next week. Let's get it.